Ooh, yeah. Okay, here we are. PCP political commentary page, and I'm here again today with another, short little thing that I do. Recently, it's all been about the coronavirus because that's basically what's been in the news. We do have the U.S. election coming up, and that is going to be a major battle. What the hell? I hate to have these long freaking cables here. Okay, but I'm going to start off today with something that's been with us since the dawn of time, something that we have tried to overcome, but as a human race, apparently we are unable to. A lot of people have been able to overcome this, but still it is seated deep within us. I'm not exactly sure where it originates from, although I know it has a lot to do with upbringing, education, and religion, and where you are born in the world. And what that is racism. It is still alive and well. No matter how many laws we try to throw at it, no matter what we try to force other people to do, it's still alive and well. Yeah, and I think it'll be here forever. Yeah, racism. I got a couple stories here. First one is kind of a, I don't know. I haven't watched the whole video. But apparently we have it happened in Oklahoma, and we have a black delivery driver. Yeah. And apparently he's out making his deliveries, and one of his deliveries was in a gated community. And if you're not familiar with a gated community is, if you live outside the U.S., although I think they have them in other countries too, they have them in other countries. Basically, it's a group of people who buy a house within a gated area, and only those people are allowed to come in. They can buzz people in, and they have their own security force, which they pay for. And apparently this guy was making a delivery. Somehow he got in the gated community, probably because he was on a delivery and somebody buzzed him in. But as he tried to get out, somebody blocked him, and they wouldn't let him out. At least that's what I get from now on. Hey, dog, what's up? So we're going to take a look at this video, and you tell me, is this a racist video, or is it a guy just trying to protect his area where he lives? Remember, they have their own private security. They pay for this, but yeah, I'm not sure. So we'll take a look and see exactly what goes down in this story here.
I'm trying to leave, and I got the super neighbor over here blocking me in. So I'm going live. This is what I'm dealing with right now.
Going live.
This is what I'm dealing with.
What are you dealing with? Show us. Show us what you're dealing with, Mr. San Francisco 49er.
This is who I'm dealing with.
Okay, that's the dude.
Napoleon. Move out the way.
My name's David Stewart.
I don't care what your name is. Get out the way.
Taking my picture. That's my name.
I don't care. Move
Okay,
out
grumpy
the way,
old guy.
sir.
He's like a grumpy old guy,
You
basically.
picked the wrong day. Move out the way.
Move out the way, man. He's got his car blocking in the way out.
Can you tell him to hang up and move so I can leave? Thank you.
Okay, we got to stop right here and just ask the obvious question. And what is the obvious question? If the driver would have been white, would this have taken place?
No. Let me give you the gate code. Pound 2005.
I don't understand. I wonder if, I mean, did the guy just, it's hard to say, I mean, because we don't have what came before this, but did the old grumpy white dude, did he, pull up, block the car, and then get out of the car and started calling? Or did he actually try to communicate with this individual first? Say, hey man, what you doing? This is a gated community. Oh, you must be on a delivery. Who'd you deliver to? I don't know. Instead of jumping on the phone right away. Like I said, I don't know what happened.
Please hurry up so you can have this a-hole move out the way so I can leave.
I asked you one question.
No, it's none of your business, and I answered. It is not.
No, it is my business.
Why? You the mayor of the cul-de-sac?
Yeah, I'm president of the owners association.
Okay.
He's the president of the Owners Association. So apparently he asked him a question, what are you doing here? Probably.
These are private streets.
And apparently you need a gate code to get in here, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So how did I get in here?
I want to know where you're going.
It was none of your business. I'm going out. That's where I'm going, but you're in my way.
I'm not arguing with you anymore.
So then move out the way then.
I'm not moving.
I ain't moving. God damn it, I ain't moving. You gotta do what you gotta do, but I ain't moving.
All you have to do is tell me where you're going.
I don't have to tell you shit, and you're pissing me off. No, I don't.
Does he have to tell him where he's going? Apparently he got a gate code in order for him to make his delivery within this gated community. Apparently he's already made the delivery, and he's leaving. And the guy just won't let him go. He's the president of the Homeowners Association. So people are going to be, pointing to him if something bad happened. If he let the guy out and found out that the guy, I don't know, maybe, got the code somehow in a non-legitimate way and just ended up emptying a house, we don't really know. Kind of a difficult situation here. Maybe, I wonder if he would ask him, where did you make your delivery? Or do you have a piece of delivery paper that I can take a look at? But does he really have the authority to do that?
He's the president of
The Homeowners Association.
There's another guy with him. So there's two of them, which usually it takes two people to make a delivery. It's like furniture or something like that. The guy's sitting in his car.
that Tom Lowe.
God damn it, I ain't moving. We've got another guy coming up. Got the truck stopped. Got to talk to the driver.
I'm trying to leave. What do you mean, why?
What do you mean, why?
None of your business?
Yeah, it is. Of course it is.
Oh.
I live in here.
Did I deliver it to your house?
You didn't deliver anything that I know of.
It's because it's none of your business, that's why.
I'm just asking why you're in.
You're asking questions. You don't need to ask questions. All you need to do is have your buddy move his car so I can leave and go about my business.
So, did you make a wrong turn into the neighborhood?
How do I make a wrong turn into a gated neighborhood? I need to have a gate code in order to get in, right? That's common sense, right? So if I had a gate, if I'm in here, I had a gate code, right?
How did you get a gate code?
That's none of your business. Yet again,
It sure as hell is.
it sure as hell isn't.
You're in the wrong, dude.
I'm not in the wrong. I don't know who this is. What's your name?
No, this is our street. This is a private street.
Just so you know, more than you two guys live on this street too, and you're not the only ones with goat codes.
You're warning us what?
I'm not warning nobody.
That's what you said.
So, who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? Of course, this could have been avoided. He could have just said, "Yeah, I delivered to this guy's place." But I mean, it's pretty much maybe he's just pissed off. God damn it, I'm tired of you people. I'm tired of an authority asking me where I'm going all the time. What am I doing all the time? And the guy has some weight to stand on here because of the color of his skin. Hey, I'm doing fine, man. How you doing? So I don't know. This is kind of a tough one. It is a gated community. People, like I said, they pay for security service to protect their area. The houses within these gated communities are quite expensive, and so they expect protection. We have a guy that apparently had a gate code, went in, looks like he's driving a delivery truck. I kind of dressed kind of like a delivery truck. Looks like it's got his name on the shirt there. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, this is a difficult one. Not sure, not exactly sure. I'm good. Just thinking about two recent discussions. Uh-oh. I wonder what these two recent discussions are. So that's the first thing I got for you. Now, the second thing I got for you also is about racism, bigotry. And this takes place in the area of the world where racism and bigotry cost millions and millions of people their lives. In fact, when people think of Germany, one of the first things they think of are Nazis, even today, still. And of course, in racism, there is racism in Germany also. It's kind of not directed towards black people. It's directed towards basically anybody else that's not German, except Americans. They're pretty good with Americans. They're pretty good with British people. South Africans or Africans, I wouldn't say South African, but African, not too well. Turkish, not too well. Romanians are basically thieves. At least that is what the stereotype of Romanians are here. Polish people, they're fine. But this story comes out of Germany. And who was the best person right now to point the racism finger at? Chinese. The Chinese people, because that's apparently where the coronavirus came from. Let's take a look at this chat here. One was I was wondering who would I vote for, Biden or Trump? And one, Bernie or Trump? Well, like I said in the past, if Biden, who would I vote for? I see. One was, is this would I or should I? I don't know. I can't tell you what you should do, but I can tell you the outcome. Bernie has dropped out of the race unless, of course, the Democratic Party realize that Joe Biden is not going to win the election no matter what, unless he picks Barack Obama for his running mate. If he picks Barack Obama for his running mate as vice president, or Michelle Obama, then I believe Biden will win the presidency. So as it is right now, Biden is the selected Democratic candidate for president. Bernie's not even in the picture. But if they do bring Bernie Sanders back in, I don't know. I think it might be tough. It might be a tough race. Another discussion which I highly agree with is that a lot of politicians are selected here have the same issue, namely corruption, hypocrisy, etc. Absolutely. Most of the people in power, in the higher power, they're basically put in this place, not by any sort of democracy, but they are put in place by other people more powerful than they are. I can't type long message. That's okay, man. I can't type at all. My typing is for shit. Oh, man. Yeah. If ever I have to, when I'm writing an article for a Medium or whatnot like that, or just a story, then I've got to. Yeah, I just basically just type it all out as quick as I can, and then look at all the spelling mistakes that I've made. I'm just worried about being banned if I do type a long one. Well, I'm not going to ban you. So unless Twitch or YouTube, I'm not sure what platform you're on right now, because the bot warned me. What bot? Do I have a bot going? Please refrain from sending long messages. Okay. So maybe that's something I got going on here. And I will take a look at that and try to remedy that. Yeah, I'll try to remedy that. So, this is a live call-in line too. You can always give a call and talk about whatever you want. But Discord or Skype, of course. So about the election, as I see it right now, Donald Trump is going to win. I'd love to join you in a call. Well, why don't you do it, man? I've got Discord here, and I know the Discord works because I've tried it before. And the Skype, basically, but first I got to do something. All right, I got to go do something. Right on. No worries, man. And Skype, basically, you just have to send an invite or a request, and then I will accept it, and then I'll throw you on. So the next story that I have, again, is about racism. Be right back. I really got to finish this in 5 minutes. Okay, dude. So, and who else better but to point the finger at right now is the Chinese people because of the coronavirus. And we got a story right here. No Chinese wanted at German restaurants. In Germany, there's no way you could do this. I mean, you're going to get taken to court right away. But let's take a look. A well-known... What the hell was that? Okay. A well-known chef in Dusseldorf has faced a major backlash over how he announced his restaurant was reopening due to relaxed coronavirus restrictions. The chef's attempt to backtrack did not go down well either. It must be him. Like many restaurants in Dusseldorf, in Schiffen, a restaurant a block away from the Rhine River in Dusseldorf was allowed to reopen as part of the government's relaxation on coronavirus restrictions. But in announcing the eatery was once again open for business, the restaurant's French star cook, Jean-Claude Bourdieu, that's French, courted controversy with a post on his Facebook page. We start on Friday, but only with our bistro. No Chinese wanted. 3 exclamation points. The 73-year-old chef wrote on his personal Facebook page on Wednesday. Dude. Okay. Screenshots of this post quickly made the rounds on social media, with several users voicing their dismay over the remark. Im Schiffen should be ashamed, one post read. What Jean-Claude said is just sickening. A wimp. A liar. Why is he a liar? Asians in Germany, as well as other places, has recently faced discrimination due to the spread of the coronavirus, which first struck in the population of Wuhan, China. Thoughtless statements. Attempted to explain his post on Im Schiffen's official Facebook page, admitting he made a thoughtless statement that he formulated completely wrong. He said the remark was not in reference to the Chinese population, but rather the dictators and strongmen in China. Bullshit. You probably don't even know who they are. I am a child of the French Revolution and detest all dictators in this world. Dictators that oppress their citizens and punish them with death. Okay. Okay, I'm back joining on Discord now. Okay. Well, I hope I see you there. Like I said, I'm kind of new to this. I've got it to work once, but we'll see if it works again. Oh, here we go. Appeared. So, let's see here if this is going on. Okay, here up. Let's see here. Oh, hi. How are you doing? Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you. Oh, good. I can hear you. Wonderful. Great. I'm doing something right. So what do you want to talk about? Absolutely. Shoot.
So like I just had these two discussions recently, and for the first discussion, which like Bernie, Trump, Biden, I would vote for like if I was American, some of that, and if I had to vote between those two, I would vote for Bernie over Trump, but I would vote for Trump over Biden.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. First, I'd like to ask you a question. Where are you calling from? If that's okay.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I won't say any specific countries exactly.
Yeah.
But Middle East.
Ah, okay. All right. Great. Right on. All right. So you would prefer Trump over Biden, but you would prefer Bernie over Trump, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And why is that? What do you think that Bernie has that Biden doesn't?
I think personally, Bernie is a step in the right direction.
Okay.
Like he doesn't have the whole solution, and people actually need to get to walk as well. Like not just him, everyone has to work together and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Bernie's a step in the right direction.
Okay, so then, yeah,
go ahead.
So then it sounds like basically you are more directed towards a socialist system, correct?
No, not exactly that.
Well, but that's what Bernie is. He's came out and said that yes, I'm a socialist. I'm not sure if he said socialist, but he did say I am a social democrat.
Yeah. I know that, and like, for me, it's gonna be a long discussion. Are you? Is that okay?
Go ahead, shoot.
Well, basically, like, I don't like the left, but neither do I like the right. The reason why I think Bernie is like the step in the right direction is because is because he's I think I might be wrong, but I think he's unlike the other politicians.
Okay.
Like he actually believes in what he's saying, stuff like that. Okay. And there needs to be a change in mindset and the intentions and the culture and in the how politics is done. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think Bernie is a step in the right direction. Sure, he's a socialist, stuff like that. But sure, like he's socialist, like that. But I'm not exactly against. Like, I'm not like. It's hard to explain, but essentially, like that's not a negative, but neither is a positive for me. I just think like it's best. He's just a step in the right direction in terms of mindset, the way politics is done, stuff like that. Okay. And he opens people's minds. You know what I mean?
Well, I will say that he has touched a lot of people, like the same way Barack Obama did. He has reached the younger generation, absolutely. And I wholeheartedly agree with you that personally myself, I am not right. I'm not left. I think both parties are basically they're one of the same. Yeah, they have a different logo. Yeah. They have a different logo for their party, but they're basically the same. And I also agree with you that things do need to change in the realm of politics in America because it is the same old thing again and again and again. Every 4 years, we go through this same problem. And every 4 years, it's either a Republican who's elected or it's a Democrat who's elected. And this is something that within America, these two parties basically set it up that way. I think the last election that I voted in was when Ron Paul was running for president. He would be someone who is not he is a politician, but he truly does believe in the things that he says. And maybe Bernie does too. I think you're absolutely right. I think Bernie does believe the things that he talks about.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like I don't like, I just like here in the Middle East, there's different situations of that. But if I was American, stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like I would vote for Bernie because, like as you say, like he does believe what he looks like he believes in what he's talking about. So that same with Ron Paul during that election. But
Sure.
and like it's like this. I don't know who said this, but basically there was an election.
Yeah.
This guy supported his enemy, his political enemy.
Mm-hmm.
He said he over his own political ally
Mm-hmm.
because and this is what he said. My enemy has beliefs. My
Mm-hmm.
ally has none.
Mm-hmm. My enemy has beliefs, my ally has none. Yeah, but what if those beliefs are totally fucked up? What if those beliefs are evil?
You're right. That's a very big risk. But look at the state of the world today. Like, sure, having like fucked up beliefs and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very big risk. But the state of the world today is because people don't commit to beliefs and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the corruption, the hypocrisy, the apathy, and so on, is precisely because people have no beliefs.
You know, this is something that, and I'm sorry that I'm gonna somewhat steer the direction of the conversation this way, but this is something that I've always thought about. I myself, I am not a religious person by any stretch of the imagination, and I really don't care what another person's religion is. If they have found something that helps them out, then wonderful. That's great. And I respect it, and there would be no way that I would try to convince that person otherwise. Yeah, if it works for them, it works for them. And boy, I hope I'm not treading on some dangerous water here, but I will say that when it comes to faith and convictions about what people believe, I was first exposed when I moved to Europe. I was first exposed to the religion of Islam. I hadn't been exposed to it in the U.S. And I was shocked that the people who practice this religion were so convicted. And I live in a small village, and there was one guy who I would see with his little rug out praying in the middle of the day. You don't see that in other religions as well. At least this is my point of view. I don't see that in other religions as much as I do for practicing people who practice Islam. I mean, people in America, they say they're Christian, and they might go to church once a week or once a year, and their actions are not Christ-like one bit. I think it's for them, it's just a badge of honor or a badge of acceptance.
Just as clarification, I'm not Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, strange. But I will have to say that Bernie Sanders, I think he does believe what he says. The American people are not ready for what he says, at least half of them. The older generation, like myself, are not ready and would think what he says is totally anti-American. He wants a socialist country, and America was founded on freedom I do what I do, you do what you do, and we leave each other alone. You're fine to do what you want, and I am fine to do what I want. And don't expect me to pay for you. And Bernie is opposite of this. Bernie is opposite of this. And I just don't think the American people are, the younger generation, they're ready for it, but the older generation is not.
And here, like here in the Middle East, is also kind of a split. The thing is, like, I've noticed the issues we see in like Europe, Middle East, US, and so on. The global issues, like people complain about the education system in the US. So do the people in the Middle East. So do the people in Europe, and so on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The issues are being globalized. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I hear you. And this is something that I feel that we are making a mistake. We are making a mistake with the concept of globalization, because the education and the people in, we'll say, France are different than the people in America. And we should not try to force a one system fits all, because it just doesn't work. I'm pretty much of a I wouldn't say anti-globalist, but I'm more of a sovereign person, and that I feel that a group of people have the absolute right to control their own destiny. And even if what they do I disagree with, they should have the freedom to do it.
For me, on globalization and stuff like that, I think it's for me. My perspective is like it's kind of split between I think it would be nice if everyone cooperated, stuff like that. It's just like, but the way the globalization is being implemented, it's like it's not like it's bringing all the flaws to light. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree 100%, and I think the reason is because we are having the leaders of the world trying to impose globalism on everybody, and it shouldn't be that way. If one company wants to do business with another company located in another country, then the governments need to get out of the way. It shouldn't be their business to tell this company, hey, dude, listen, man, our country, we don't really like that country over there. So you're not allowed to do business with that country over there. Yeah? If they would just get out of the way and tell these people, listen, I mean, in America, if you were an American, you weren't allowed to go to Cuba for the longest time. You were not even allowed to go there because the country doesn't like that other country. But let the people let the people buy what they want, let them go where they want, and let these companies do business with whoever they want to without these restrictions and tariffs and sanctions. And I think that would, I think the globalization would naturally become a norm.
For me, it's like I think what you're saying is true. However, like, what's your opinion on corporations of that? Corporations?
Are you talking like large multinational companies or?
Yeah, large ones, like large multinational companies, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, I've got no problem with large multinational companies. I don't, and I know this is gonna be. I mean, some people say that, well, God, we can't do that because this huge, giant company is going to move into a country that doesn't have these regulations or those regulations, doesn't have employment insurance, and they're going to pay these people next to nothing. to do this slave labor. Is this something like what you're talking about?
No, like, not exactly. It's like that's not my. That's like how to say that. My main issue is not that it's. My main issue is corporations.
Yeah.
Is the same. It's kind of the same I have with government, and it's kind of the same I have with government. Like,
But
for
corporations
me,
corporations do not get their power without government. Corporations rely on government to get the power that they have. Government legitimizes their actions and behavior. And without the legitimization of their action and behavior, backed by the force and power of government, then a corporation would just be another company.
yeah, but it's like for me at the same time, like for me, it's the corporate like I think we should work on dismantling and dismantle. Like, I think people should work on dismantling both corporations and the government. Not necessarily like small, like not necessarily like local businesses or small business or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, the large ones, the large multinational ones. Because like, for me, while the government is like focused on power,
Yeah.
corporations focus on profit, and like, I don't exactly support either of them. I'd rather like. I think we need to work on like my whole opinion on like the political spectrum, left right thing,
Yeah.
as well as corporations and governments, that we should work on something new for the future. It's the 21st century and stuff like that, because like the communism, fascism,
Yeah.
and capitalism,
Yeah.
they're kind of outdated,
Well,
at least from my opinion.
Well, no,
Go ahead.
I hear what you're saying, and I think we also need to focus on something different because communism doesn't work, socialism doesn't work, capitalism has never truly ever been tried. America does not have a capitalist economy, but I agree, we do need something different because the paradigm of having this party or that party run the system, or politicians who are basically not held accountable one bit for their actions, that all needs to change. And I think the best way to change it is let's try freedom.
I agree with the freedom thing. It's just, like, I disagree though that capitalism has not been tried. This is the same as it's like here's obviously the communism.
Where has
socialism,
capitalism been tried? Where has capitalism been tried?
Well, I remember something about the Icelandic Commonwealth, and like the liberal like the liberal age of the U.S. and so on, and Victorian ages, some of that.
No,
But
no.
not all of it's bad. I'm not saying all of it's bad. Not all of it. Like,
But it hasn't been
can I
tried.
explain?
But it hasn't been tried. There was never a time in America, except maybe in the very early 1700s. In the very early 1700s, we had a somewhat form of capitalism to where people were allowed to create whatever they wanted. They were allowed to open whatever store they wanted without asking permission from somebody. As soon as you have to ask permission to open anything, it is not capitalism. You are paying for the privilege. And who are you paying? You're paying the government. It is like a mafia organization. That's not capitalism. That's crony capitalism is what it is. And America has always, America definitely has to change its national anthem. I think in the national for the land of the free. That's not obvious anymore. People are not free there, nor are they free anywhere else in the world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't really. Go ahead.
There's not an insult against you, and I'm not saying it's not an insult against you or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying like a lot of socialists and communists, something like that, would say that communism is like communism like has not been tried in Soviet Union and all that. I disagree with that. I think Soviet Union was like is a legit form of communism, but I think also crony capitalism is also a legit form of capitalism. But they're the worst variations. It does not mean that they can't that they're not like more other versions of capitalism that can't be that work better. I'm saying they are. I'm just saying like I don't see the worst variations and the best variations as like any more legit or illegit from each other ever since. But I prefer the best ones. You know what I mean?
No, I see. No, I understand, and I've said this a long time ago that I feel that I felt that we were on the verge of the next great awakening, to where, and last year we had protests around the world. So many countries were protesting against their governments. It was, you couldn't turn on the evening news without hearing about a protest in the UK, about a protest in Australia, about a protest in France, about a protest in the US, in the Middle East. People were rising up against their governments. And for me, I thought, okay, this is a sign of a great awakening, that people have had enough of their so-called rulers only looking out for themselves and their friends, because that's what politicians do. And I thought, okay, people are waking up to this fact and realizing that we do not need a mother and father our whole lives, because that's what government has become. It has become our mother and father our whole lives. And now, just when these... Interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, how to say this, like, I think there are like sections of people who are awakening and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the majority but the majority have chosen to stay asleep, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the majority have chosen, listen, I don't want to really have to think about this, because it's too hard for me, and I'm happy with being ruled and governed. Yeah, I have a house here, I have a car, I have a job. Well, nowadays it's really hard to get a job because of the coronavirus, not because of the coronavirus, because of the actions taken by the politicians due to the coronavirus. And so a lot of people are just, they live in this, they have cognitive dissonance. Even though the facts are staring at them right in the face, they just kind of, okay, go on my daily life.
There's also two other things that I'm seeing, like short-term versus long-term thinking, as well as people like, how people shout that's good, that's evil without properly defining terms. They shout out that's good, that's evil automatically.
Yeah.
And like I've seen a lot of people do that, and there's for some who do, not everyone who defines it, but some who do define it. They define good as pleasure, or rather, good as happiness, mistaken as pleasure, and evil as avoiding suffering. But it's not that simple. Like, suffering sometimes is necessary for growth. And like, if your whole life consists of nothing but pleasure, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. That makes perfect sense, and it is difficult, and it does take effort, and that is why. It's kind of funny, because when Donald Trump became president, I was sure he was going to be president. As soon as he threw his hat in the race, I knew at that time, 6 months before, this guy's going to be president, period.
Yeah, me and you. Sorry, sorry for interrupting. Me too, I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. And I think one thing that I do like about Donald Trump, and if you've watched the show before, you'll know that, I don't like politicians, period. But I will give them credit where credit is due. It doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat, because people on both sides, it's not like they have the absolute answers to everything, But one thing that I do like is a lot of times he is very forthcoming, and he is very honest, and he has said things that people freaked out about, because politicians usually don't talk like that. They usually
Yeah.
say things that people want to hear instead of, this is the truth, guys.
Yeah. This is why I vote for Donald Trump over Biden, because Biden is more like normal. He's the status, like he's a sign of the status quo.
Yeah.
But at least Trump kicks everyone in the head.
Yeah, that's true. So tell me, in the area that you are, how are the restrictions going there? Are you guys practicing social distancing, and have they closed down businesses, or what's the?
It's total lockdown. Like no one's allowed to go outside the house, and there's been a riot.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, that's that's good as far as I'm concerned. That's good. I've been to. Go ahead.
It's not exactly sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's not exactly a large riot, but there was still a riot, and it was interesting, to say the least.
No, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. Usually, the minority is in the right. Usually, the minority is always in the right, and that is historically that's been proven again and again and again. It's hard to be out there and be a voice of opposition where everyone else around you is on board with something. You're made to look like a lunatic. You're made to look like you don't care. And so when I see business owners opening up their business in spite of these regulations, to me, they are the real heroes. In the U.S., they talk about the people on the front lines of this battle with coronavirus, the doctors, the nurses, they're the heroes. And I say, no, not really. For me, it's the guy who opposes these draconic rules who's really the hero. And he's not doing it for himself. This is one thing that they're saying, that he's selfish. No, he's not selfish. He's also looking out for his employees also, who lost their job because of this.
For me, like the virus,
Yeah.
I think it's real, but I think it's real, but what's more worrying is the government's response. They set an entirely new president.
Yeah.
And new president.
Yeah.
Presidents.
Precedents. Mm-hmm.
They set an entirely new president.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna have repercussions. Like, I'm not that worried about the pandemic. I'm worried about like people's reaction to the people's reactions,
Mm-hmm.
government reactions,
Right.
and the president's this sets.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm sure that there is a virus. I'm sure that it's called the coronavirus. And I'm sure that for people who are old and have pre-existing conditions, this is dangerous for them, just like getting the regular influenza, a flu. However, I think the actions that were taken and have been taken are continually being taken are setting a very dangerous precedence over the future. Absolutely. But hey, thanks for calling in. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, you bet.
Is it follow?
You bet. And
Are you gonna end stream?
no, I'm not going to end the stream.
So we're gonna continue talking?
Yeah. There's a couple other stories here I want to take a look at.
Gotcha.
But so that was you. Did you just follow me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right on. Good deal. That's cool. That's very cool. But yeah, and maybe you can call in from time to time and tell me exactly what's going on in your area of the world. I know that here, the country in which I live, that our restrictions were lifted, but now they're talking about reinstating them.
Damn.
Damn. And the restrictions just make no sense. I mean, they make no freaking sense. In areas of the U.S., you are allowed to go out into a large supermarket. Yes, there are social distancing rules. There's one way in, 1 way out. But you're allowed to do that, but you're not allowed to go fishing. on a boat in the middle of a lake by yourself.
Damn.
What kind of sense is that?
Also, you know how in the media, like they show in the Middle East, like they show only the religious extremists and stuff.
Right.
Thing is, they don't show all. They don't. I find it funny that they only show like the religious extremists of that, but they don't show all the other political factions of that. It's okay if I send you.
No, you kind of broke up there a little bit.
Oh, basically, I find funny how they only show the religious extremists.
Yeah.
But they ignore all the other political factions. I have a photo to show you if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying that it depends on which media source you're listening to. If you are watching CNN, they will absolutely show the, I would have to call them rednecks, or they make them out to be rednecks. The religious factions out there claiming, protesting with guns, open up, and they will spin that to make these people look like idiots. If you look at Fox News, then you will hear stories about, like I said, restaurant owners opening up and defying these orders, normal everyday people. But, that's the situation we have with mainstream media. Mainstream media is not unbiased. They have an agenda, and you have both sides going back and forth and back and forth.
Do you have the pic?
Do I have the picture? No.
Yeah.
How did you send
It's
it?
in the Discord private message.
Let's take a look here. I click on you and well, how do I see it? I don't see a general. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not it.
It's in the private message. You have to go to like the up at the top icon.
I feel like an idiot. Okay, I go to the top icon.
Yeah, like the one with the Discord icon.
Ah, okay, I see it. Now it's opening. There we go. There we go. Oh, so that's where you're from. Okay. All right, interesting. Yeah, I talked about this place a couple of, I think it was yesterday. So, okay. Did I lose you? Did I kick you off?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Good. All right, good. So, yeah, thanks again. It's really great. Call in anytime you want. Let me know what's going on in your area of the world. And, yeah, I'm going to take a short break because I need to get some more coffee. I ran out of coffee. It's empty.
All right. Have fun. Enjoy your coffee, and yeah, I'll have fun. Take care.
All right, you too, man. Take care. I'll be right back.
You too.
Every time I see you walking out my door, I wanna grab a frying pan and lay you out on the floor. That filth you talk, that stench just flies out of you. I should have listened, yeah, I should have. said you loved me, I should have picked up and ran. Grabbed my unicycle and rode to Japan. Hang out with some geisha girls, sing karaoke and get a tattoo. Do everyone and everything to forget about you. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. So, I got some more coffee here. I'm out of sugar, so I ended up putting brown sugar in it. Brown sugar in your coffee is not too bad. It's pretty good. And I want to thank I can't remember Dunge James. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. For calling in. It's really awesome to be able to speak to people, yeah? It's great to be able to speak to people, especially people who have different opinions than you do. Because some of the things that the caller said, yeah, it made me think, yeah? And I really hope, I mean, it's too bad we don't sit down and really talk more with people that have different opinions and different thoughts. Because, boy, I've been wrong about a lot of things, and it's nice to know that this belief that you've had for the longest time just might have some cracks in it, you know? And it's a great concept to have people, working together on something. Absolutely. It's great. It's wonderful. Just as long as we're not trying to force people to do it, because that doesn't work. Yeah, that doesn't work. We've tried to force people to live with people who they don't like, such as, and I think this would be part of the roots of racism. Yeah, in America, we forced people to allow different people into schools that they didn't like. I'm talking about African Americans, of course. When the Chinese first came over to the U.S., they were forced to live in certain areas. And then we forced other people to accept them. And then if that's the case, then why do we still have racism today? I think if people just got to know each other and let this naturally progress, granted, it might take longer, but I think the end results would be more legitimate. Yeah. I still can't believe people think that America would still have slavery if we didn't have the Civil War. In the year 2020, you really think? Do people really think that we would still have slavery if not for a civil war? Of course not. This is a natural progression. People progress, yeah? But as I was talking here, this restaurant owner in Germany, they were happy they're going to reopen their doors for business, except Chinese people. Everyone's welcome except except Chinese people. The French chef said that. And basically it's because of, apparently the coronavirus came from Wuhan, China, somewhere. I'm not exactly sure if that's true, but that's what they're saying. And the guy recanted his statement, saying that, no, it was taken out of context. I'm not talking about the Chinese population, but rather the dictators and strongmen in China, which for me, he's just trying to cover his ass, basically. And he says, I am a child of the French Revolution and detest all dictators in the world, dictators that oppress their citizens and punish people with death. And he continues saying, people of 9 countries work at our restaurant. My wife is Asian, and I myself am a foreigner in this land. Rest assured, I can be accused of many things, but certainly not racism, and I do not tolerate it. Okay, this is the guy who just said, right here, we start on Friday, but only with our bistro. No Chinese wanted. Rest assured, I can be accused of many things, but certainly not racism, and I do not tolerate it. We start on Friday, but only with our bistro. No Chinese wanted. I mean, come on, guy. All right. Okay. Now, let's see. The statement received more than 500 comments within a 24-hour span. As of Thursday evening, the Im Schiffen Facebook page could not be accessed. Born in central France, moved to Dusseldorf from Spain in 1970 and took over in Schiffen in 1977. Wow, he's had the place for a long time. He is a 2-timed published author, and in 2004 received a French Order of Legion of Honor for serving as a culinary ambassador of France to Germany. So the guy is a big news when it comes to chefs, yeah? And I'm going to have to revert back to my stance on this, yeah? And I know this might sound a bit radical, and I know it might sound a bit insensitive, but here's a story that a guy, a chef, the owner of the restaurant, said no Chinese people wanted. Now, I believe he should be allowed to say that. If you are a private business owner, you should have the right to limit your service to whoever you want. This guy did. And because he did, look at the backlash he received. Let this man, okay, let's say it was a mistake, yeah. But if it wasn't a mistake, if it was not a mistake, let this guy say these words. Let the people know that he is a racist, and just wait and see how his business will suffer. Because as I have said in the past, there are more of us than there are of them. Let the guy say it. Let the people of the world know what he really thinks. And that way we know to support or not support his business. And I guarantee you, this guy's business is going to go down because of these statements. Again, was he mistaken? I don't know. Was it a slip of the tongue? I don't know. He's French. He's learned German. And if he's French, his English is probably not the best because it's a disgusting language for the French to learn, apparently. So, I don't know. Maybe he meant what he said. Yeah? That I wasn't talking about the citizens, Chinese people. I was talking about the dictators and strongmen. I don't believe him. He said his wife is Asian. I don't know. I mean, maybe she is, but still. Still. Anyway, racism is alive and well today, and it will continue to be alive and well as long as we try to force people to behave a certain way. Let people be jerks. Let them be assholes. Let them walk down the street saying, I don't like this sort of people. I don't like these sorts of people. Let people know it. I would want to know, because I am, quote unquote, an American, because I grew up in this area and was born there. I want to know that the restaurant I'm going to, that the chef is a racist and he hates Americans. I want to know that. I want to know that, because then I could be really careful about what I eat. And, what could he have done in this dish of mine that I am now going to digest? What exactly did he put in there? I mean, he hates me. He hates the type of people, where I come from. I want to know. I want to know. Now, I've got another story up here, and this is one that I kind of talked about, yeah? CEO Danny Meyer slams coronavirus reopening for New York restaurant group. I've got a little story here about this. Let's see here. Fast food chains opening because of, okay. Screw that. I don't want to look at that. That's too long. That one's way too long. But here, Wisconsin. In the state of Wisconsin, let me make this a little bit bigger for you. And here we go. Wisconsin Supreme Court ruling overturning stay-at-home order highlights widening U.S. debate on pandemic. Now, in the states, you have what we call governors. You have the president, who oversees the federal government, and then governors, which oversee the state in which they govern. These governors basically have made these rules, these stay-at-home rules, these social distancing measures. Whether or not they go against the Constitution of America is not important. They just make them. They have become little dictators of their own little country. And let's, keep in mind, America is a huge country. I mean, the state of California, what is that, bigger than Europe? But now we finally have the Wisconsin Supreme Court overturning the state's stay-at-home orders. So, hey, man, you can't do that. You cannot just put out whatever orders you want, whatever laws you want. This goes against the state constitution. So this is increasing this fight, this stay-at-home fighting that we have. The people who say if you do not stay at home, you don't love your grandma, or if you don't wear a mask, you hate old people. And the other side that is saying, hey, we got to open up our country. We have to let people back to work. This is a little bit ludicrous. What do we got here? No, absolutely not. We should not stop people from criticizing the man. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Chef, for letting me know you're a racist prick. And thank you, so now I know where to put my hard-earned dollars, not in your restaurant. Let people expose themselves for what they really are. Yeah? And no, a lot of the problems today cannot be solved by government policies or technology. I know that in places in the UK, there are video cameras freaking everywhere, surveillance cameras. China is known for this with their social credit procedures, to where the cameras out there with facial recognition, man, as soon as you walk out of your front door, you're being tracked, you're being traced. Where is he going? What's he doing? And if we see him doing something a little bit unpleasant, then we're going to deduct some social credit from him. And once you find yourself very low on social credit, you're going to find yourself, it's very hard to get a job. It's very hard to rent an apartment. If you want to go to the university, perhaps you need to get a loan for something. If your social credit is low, then you're going to have a difficult time getting any of that. And this does not, and I've heard the opposite side saying, well, this forces people to be on their best behavior because of this. But in the long run, we don't know what that person's really like. It forces them to be on their best behavior, but inside, they're a total asshole. So we have no idea what they're really like. So this is a false sense of reality. Well, looking at this guy's social credit here, he's an outstanding citizen. No, he's a dickhead. But he knows how to use the system. He knows how to use it to get what he wants. It has nothing to do with what the person is really like. Yeah. Yeah, don't even get me started on the education system. I've been involved in the education system for... Well, I was involved in the education system for about 15, 16 years. And, yeah, no, we won't evolve. We won't evolve, and it won't change us. It'll just force us to act a certain way. And that way will not be honest. It will not be sincere. What else do I got here? Oh yeah. This is the thing that's going, this blowing up here. The Democrats want to push a $3 trillion COVID package pushed by Nancy Pelosi. $3 trillion. Now, I mentioned this the other night. Oh, that's weird. Hey, wait, listen. I mentioned this the other night on Twitch. Yeah. And this morning, I looked at my stream from yesterday to create a short snippet, a little highlight video. And it was gone. The thing that I mentioned was gone from Twitch. Something spooky is going on here. Because I think, well, I'm not going to tell you what I think about it. I want to take a look at this video here. And let's see exactly what this Nancy Pelosi has to say. There's probably going to be a commercial here. CNN's great for that. They throw commercials out. But I think this is basically a pill.
Wir sind für euch da. Sicher
pill
bestellen und
that
bezahlen.
they want people to swallow. I think that they want more and more people to be dependent on the government for their livelihood. And that's what part of this is.
Your Republican counterpart, Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, called it a liberal wish list of a bunch of items that you wanted to have passed even before the coronavirus pandemic happened. What's your response to that? I mean, is this very specifically coronavirus focused, or are there things in here that have nothing to do with it?
He knows that that's what he said isn't so. But putting that aside, I can't be bothered about what others say. What I'm proud of is what we are doing. And the fact is that in all four of the bills that have passed before, they've all been bipartisan. And we've all...
Okay, she can't be bothered what other people say, and she's proud of what she's doing. Her and Bernie Sanders is really behind this also, because this does lay a path for socialism, absolutely. And okay, I'm gonna jump off here, but I'm gonna tell you something that it might sound creepy to you. Usually, I'm pretty much, I'm right down the middle. But something does not sound right to me. If there is a vaccine discovered for the coronavirus in the U.S. and maybe around the world, people will be given the opportunity to get this vaccine. If you get the vaccine, if you voluntarily receive it, you will be, for the rest of your life, financed by your government. They will pay you to stay at home. They will pay you instead of working. If you choose not to get the vaccine, they will not pay you to stay at home. You will be forced to get a job. However, they will be putting restrictions on companies. They will enforcing new laws that states unless you have this vaccine, you will not be allowed to work at this company or this company or that company or any company because you are putting others at risk. So, you get the vaccine, you get paid to work at home, and the government finances your life. Or you choose not to get the vaccine. Nobody will hire you because you do not have the vaccine. I think this is where this is heading. I really do. I think this is where this is heading. So people will become more and more dependent on the states. It sounds creepy, like a dystopian novel, but I think that's where we're going. I'm not exactly sure. I can't be positive, but sounds like it. Let's see. Hold on one second here. I'm looking at what. Boy. Hold on a second here. Just I disagree with some of you. I'd like to say that I disagree with some of your points, but kudos for sticking to them, being honest, etc. And I mean legit committing to them. When I heard the election, he said that he would vote for Biden if he had to. So, yeah, and that's the thing about being true to your beliefs. And that's why I don't vote Republican or Democrat. And even though people say that if you don't vote for one of those parties, you're throwing your vote away. No, I'm going to vote my conscience. I'm not a member of team mentality. I don't care if my team wins. I don't care if my team loses. I care that my team has the moral ground. So if you want to call that throwing my vote away because I'm voting for someone who has no chance of winning, I call that honesty. And that's one of the issues that we have a major problem in the world is team mentality. You want to talk about people working together, the first thing you need to do is get rid of nationalities. Because when it comes right down to it, we're all human beings. That's it. Doesn't matter what area of the world you're born in, you're still human. You have the same organs, bone structure, or bones, that I do. I get so tired of hearing this chanting, USA, 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 number one. I mean, what do you think that does? Automatically, it creates senses of we're better than anybody else on the planet. No, you're not. You're an individual. Each and every one of us is an individual. I hate the fact that I have to call myself an American. I'm a human being. I don't want to belong to anybody. I don't want to have a number. People are born into a system. They have no choice. And some people might say, well, if you don't like the system you're at, then leave it. Okay. Then I just leave and I'm put under another system. I'm owned no matter where I go. I don't like that feeling. I like the feeling of a global citizen. I am a citizen of the world, of the planet. I do not have an allegiance to one country or another. So, thanks again for the call. It was outstanding. It was wonderful. Please feel free to call in anytime you want. Talk about whatever you want. Let me know what's going on in your area of the world. And yeah, together we can learn from each other. Okay, then. Take care. Like I said, I'm working on an old 1800s house that restoring. So I have a lot to do today. So until we talk to each other again, yeah, take care. Yeah, you too. Take care. Until next time. Hey, man, and thanks for following too. That's great. Right on. If you like what you hear, tell other people about it. Like I said, I'm open to anything, any discussions. That's great. Okay, so take care.